Jeffries keeps going on TV and saying this is a partisan investigation. Remember, this subpoena started from a Democrat motion on the committee. No one told me to investigate Epstein. Wow. That wasn't even on our list. We're more focused on waste, fraud, and abuse. The Democrats made the motion. The Republicans amended the motion. The Democrats all voted for the names, which included Comey, Merrick Garland, Bill Barr, Alex, Acosta came later. But anyway, the Democrats voted for that. Everyone else has answered questions except the Clintons. So to say this is a partisan investigation, that's not factual, because the Democrats on the committee voted with us to hold the Clintons in contempt, even after Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries told them not to do it.
I just have to follow up on one thing that you said in your answer here, Mr. Chairman. Alex Acosta. Now, I cannot believe that I missed this, but I didn't know that you had already deposed him. And that's, of course, the famous line that says Epstein belonged to Intel. I was told to back off. And he was supposed to be prosecuting Epstein. We shouldn't be having this conversation. It makes me quite angry, Mr. Chairman, if I may. It makes me quite angry because we shouldn't be having this conversation. Epstein should be rotting in jail. Mm-hmm. If he was rightfully charged in 2016 to 2008, and that's, by the way, under a Republican president, with Mueller at the head of the FBI and the DOJ at the time, if they were rightfully charged, if he was correctly charged in that instance, then Ghislaine Maxwell, along with so many others, would be in prison for the rest of their lives, for a very long time at least. Mm-hmm. And we wouldn't even know the name Epstein, but that didn't happen. And instead we get headlines like this. Can you unpack anything for us on this, Mr. Chairman?
Well, we made the transcript public with Epstein. And let me assure you, Benny, that was a hard-hitting deposition from both sides. It wasn't just the Democrats. We hit Epstein, or we hit Acosta as hard as the Democrats, because they did drop the ball in Florida. Yes. And one thing Acosta said in his deposition was, well, he had the biggest legal team in the world. We thought it was a win to make him have to go to serve some time in prison and to be a registered sex offender. So that did happen. He did go to prison for a little while, but he was out, and he once he got out, that's when the real bad characters emerged, because you could make the argument, if you're someone that was friends with Epstein before he went to prison, before he pled guilty for soliciting an underage girl and being a registered sex offender, you could make the argument, well, they didn't know that. Once they knew that, then there's still a lot of rich and famous people that's affiliated with Epstein after they knew the goods on him. So that's the point in where I think the investigation should really focus, is who's still associated with Epstein after he got out of prison the first time. And you're right, he should have never gotten out of prison, ever.
Yes, correct.
And I think one thing that you'll see that should surprise no one, the government did a poor job of investigating Jeffrey Epstein. I would make an argument that we probably spent as much time on the Oversight Committee investigating Epstein and talking to people as the U.S. government did that first time he got convicted. Now, the second time, the pressure was building and they investigated a little more. But, a lot of the people that we've already talked to, a lot of people that we're fixing to bring in, have never had to answer questions about Epstein. So these are missing pieces to the puzzle that I feel like we're trying to do on the Oversight Committee. And it is bipartisan, despite what the New York Times or Hakeem Jeffries or the Clintons say.
So did he not get it? My team says that he was never asked about the belongs to Intel in the transcript that you released. Did that not happen? Did nobody say, hey, what do you mean when you say it belongs to Intel?
I don't recall anyone asking him about that, but I'll have to go back and review the transcript to find out. We'll get an answer for you.
All right, you guys can come to our show for any question prep anytime. We'd be happy to prep you if you ever call in Bill Gates. Do you intend on doing that? You said that there's going to be a delineation of the people who cozied up to him after the sex offender, and that one of those individuals was Bill Gates. Will Bill Gates get called before your committee?
Yeah, the interview that
his wife is asking for that. Sorry to interrupt you, but his wife is asking for that.
And that makes it even more likely that will potentially happen. I don't want to do anything between now and February 26th or 27th.
Of course.
To jeopardize the Clinton deposition. Remember, there's another deposition in the Epstein investigation before we bring in the Clintons in a couple of weeks. We're deposing Ghislaine Maxwell next week. Now, she's indicated she's going to plead the fifth. That's the only reason we haven't deposed her any sooner. But we're going to go ahead and do that, and maybe she'll change her mind. Maybe she'll answer questions. So Maxwell's going to be deposed next week. That's not been covered very much. So we've got, and then another individual is going to be deposed. So we have, prior to the Clinton depositions, we have 2 more depositions already booked that we're preparing for. So we're doing a lot in this investigation. And every single person of those 4 that are going to be deposed before February 27th, the Democrats have requested that we depose them as well. So again, this isn't partisan. This is bipartisan.
Final quick question, and thank you for your generous time here and answering all of this. The audience has been very interested, of course, and very bought in. Final quick question. So you're saying that you're open to Bill Gates being called before your committee?
Well, we could do like Jack Smith did. Jim Jordan subpoenaed Jack Smith for a deposition. Jack Smith sat down for a deposition. Then after the deposition, he said he wanted a public hearing. If the Clintons want more oversight committee after 2 full days of depositions, then we'll more than likely accommodate that. But right now, the subpoena and the contempt was for depositions. Depositions, you've heard me say a million times, are much more substantive than committee hearings. Committee hearings are more for entertainment. Depositions are more for substance.
Yes, I was asking about Bill Gates, not Bill Clinton.
Oh, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. You are open to Bill Gates testifying before your committee. Melinda Gates is saying he should answer for his relationship with Epstein.
We're very open to that. We're talking with counsel now. I don't want to do anything or say anything,
of course,
to jeopardize the Clinton depositions. But I would say the odds are good that Bill Gates will have to answer some questions from the Oversight Committee.
Wow. And a final warning shot if the Clintons decide to not show up at the end of this month.
Then,
what will happen?
Then I would say a supermajority of Congress will vote to hold them in contempt, and then it'll be turned over to Pam Bondi, just like when Navarro and Bannon were held in contempt by Congress. It was turned over to Merrick Garland. And they talk about precedents, I think Merrick Garland set a precedence for people who defied congressional subpoenas and were held in contempt of Congress. So after that point, then you need to refer your questions to the Trump Department of Justice.
I apologize that we had so many questions on this, but we have been excited, and we've been very proud of you and the work that your committee has done to actually get this over the finish line. America needs these answers, and we'd be thrilled for it to be public or for us to see it. And so, yeah, I really hope that it can all happen. And so, God bless you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
You will see it, Benny. You will see it.
Yes.
All right. It will be made public.
Follow the chairman here. He has nearly 300,000 subscribers here on X, one of the single most effective members of Congress. And that's saying a lot. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.